Good morning. Welcome to the special meeting conference of the Newark Municipal Council on Tuesday, February 25th. In accordance with New Jersey law, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the Star Ledger, the Jersey Journal, and the public at large, establishing the date, time, and location of this meeting. In addition, the agenda for this meeting was disseminated on Friday, February 21st, at the time of preparation and posted on the website of the City of Newark. Roll call, please.
Council,
Present.
Gonzalez,
Present.
Kelly,
Here.
Quintana, Ramos absent, Scott Roundtree,
Present.
Silva absent, President Crump.
Present.
Council President, council members, we are on page 4 of the agenda. Item 7R1AS is a bid contract to provide videotaping, training, and technical assistance to the municipal council and the city clerk's office.
Roll call.
Council,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Quintana,
Yes.
Ramos absent, Scott Roundtree,
Yes.
Silva absent, President Crump.
Yes.
7R2AS is a private sale redevelopment agreement for the First Amendment to the agreement for sale and redevelopment of land and a subordination agreement in order to permit the redeveloper to obtain financing necessary for the rehabilitation of property to build a 3-family house for sale in the South Ward.
Any questions, comments on this one? Seeing none, hearing none, roll call.
Council,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Quintana,
Yes.
Ramos absent, Scott Roundtree.
Yes.
Silva absent, President Crump.
Yes.
7R8AS is an amending resolution to increase the contract amount for auditing services. Council as a whole to adopt?
Any questions from the
I do have a quick question.
Councilman Gonzalez?
Yes. We're increasing this by $200,000. And is it because the police department was not included before in the audit?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's it. Nothing else?
Same question. It was the same question.
All right, roll call.
Council,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Quintana,
Yes.
Ramos absent, Scott Roundtree,
Yes.
Silva absent, President Crump.
Yes.
7R8BS is a resolution to support publishing legal notices on official government websites. Council as a whole to adopt?
Madam Clerk, can we just get a quick explanation on this?
Absolutely. Council President, council members, due to the Star Ledger not publishing anymore and they're digitized totally, the law has yet to catch up with that. So this proposed resolution of support is a compromise which is promoted by the League of Municipalities as well as New Jersey Municipal Clerks Association, just trying to advocate for making all of our legal advertising on the city's website instead of, contracting with multiple publications where businesses don't typically read the other publications. And we're spending money for this to trim down the spending by just posting it on the website.
Yeah. And this is a recommendation coming from the League of Municipalities.
Yes, sir.
No question.
Councilman
No.
Quintana.
At Passaic Valley, we were confronted with the same, but what we done is we have kept local, like Luso and Especialito. We kept some of the ethnic papers because of the concern. So I would say that following the lead, but also following that, we have different newspapers within the city that we can place the ads to, because not everybody's going to look at the website. So I would encourage, what we do at Passaic Valley is that we do with Luso and other newspapers, ethnic, so that there is communication of what's taking place.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Councilman Quintana. Roll call.
Council,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Quintana. Ramos absent, Scott Roundtree.
yes,
Silva absent, President Crump.
Yes.
Comment. Public comment.
Yes.
We are now in the public comment portion of this special meeting, where each speaker will have 3 minutes to speak. Please state your name for the record. Is there anyone wishing to address the council members?
Good morning, George Tillman.
Morning.
Jr. Quickly, last night there was an affirmative action review council meeting at 375 McCarter Highway at Newark Works. And there was, excuse me, there was only 2 members present again. Chairperson Rashid and the other gentleman, Donald Carter, were the only 2 members. So this is the second meeting in a row where we haven't had a board. So that's just the beginning of the conversation about what happened in that meeting. However, one of the things Ms. Rashid said going forward is that us coming to that meeting to get information regarding those construction developments, we had to submit a request. And not only that, when Mr. Baptiste came with the reports that to give for compliance, she wouldn't allow him to give the reports, saying that now there's some new guidelines or that rules that prohibits her from giving direct information. So I don't know where that came from, but I submitted an Oprah request prior to in October 21st, 2024, relating to the ordinance on 7/1 from July 1st, 2015 to October 9th, 2024, as per ordinance 6PSF-C061715. I'm requesting the following quarterly and semi-annual progress reports for contractors, vendors awarded municipal contracts in compliance. The above referenced progress reports to the Office of City Clerk, the Office of Affirmative Action, as to the user agencies or departments containing an accurate record of 1, the number of Newarkers hired, as well as the number of Newark residents currently employed on projects or in performance of the contract. 2, the number of training positions and the amount of positions that will be filled by Newark residents. 3, the necessary level of job skills required of Newarkers to plan and implement the work to be done on the job or in performance of the contract. In the semi-annual reports, and the contractors should document all good faith efforts in their actions to hire Newark residents as assigned work hours. This was according to the ordinance. And the response that I got from the clerk's office was that no records were found for 10 years from that review council or Newark Works. So I only have 10 seconds. So I'm going to follow up at our next meeting to give more information in detail. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Next speaker.
Great day, Deborah Salters. I guess number one, I would ask, why was Councilman Silva in the hallway during the last meeting? The last council meeting we just had? He was in the hallway instead of in here in the chair. Do you all know what's up with that? I don't understand that one. In the hallway instead of in the seat where we needed him. Number two, Allison Ladd, where is all of the money that we received to give people their first month rent and first for security and rent? You stood up here, I think it was back in October, we had just gotten another 4 or 6 million from the federal government, and before that we had gotten a few million for that very reason. And someone came to you right after the money was received and they were told that there was no money. Where is all the money for the people needing residence out here? Needing places to live. The money is given and everybody's all up in arms. Oh, Donald Trump's cutting this and he's cutting that. Yeah, because y'all been stealing. Y'all as in anybody in government and has not been putting the money where it's supposed to be going. I told you before, you understood you singular, you plural, whichever you fits, you wear it. Okay? It's not personal, it's business. It's personal when my people cannot find a place to live that is truly affordable. And I heard somebody over here say that's not true. I don't know who was talking, but what I said was he's uncovering a lot of fraud and wasteful spending, and everybody's all up in arms. And we know it here in the city of Newark because we experience it on a daily level. Every department in this city needs to be refurbished, rewashed, cleaned. It's a darn shame that our people are suffering. And those who are in office are getting fatter off of the plight of the people. It makes no sense. And then for this affirmative action committee to now join the club of refusing to give us information that is our information, again, where are the dollars being spent? Where, who is holding the developers accountable? We were in a meeting, the last tax abatement meeting, and as I'm speaking to the developer, he's talking about, oh, I did a good faith effort. I hired consultants. The affirmative action committee are the consultants. The council people are the consultants. What do you mean you hired a consultant? The people who are in charge of the residents getting employment are the consultants. But we can't get the affirmative action committee to do their job, especially when you only have 2 members who show up.
Thank you for your comments. Next speaker. No one else appearing. Public speaking is closed. Any comments or questions from the council? Anything from the administration? Motion to adjourn.
Second by Kelly.
Roll call.
Oh, I'm sorry, roll call. Thank you.
Council,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Quintana, Ramos,
Yes.
Scott Roundtree,
yes.
Silva,
Yes.
President Crump.
Yes.
Council President, council members, we are now in the special conference portion of this meeting. However, the first issue regarding inspection issues, we need to reschedule due to communications and scheduling conflict. The second presentation with Director Stewart, we need to take in executive session to discuss healthcare for employees.
Mr. Chair,
Council.
prior to going into executive, I just had some concerns over, the inspections matter. One, we've been asking for this for a long period of time, which it should have given people ample enough time to get prepared, to get the information that they wanted, based on the urgency of what is happening out in this community, on these streets, with inspectors, with lack of inspection, with the amount of illegal conversions that are going on out here, the moving of projects and permit processes, folks not collecting fines or fees. I just don't think that this is acceptable, right? I mean, if it was one of us, folks have the right to get up, scream and yell and, do all these other things. But when you have ample enough time to be able to do this, especially with, an entity downstairs that is, very pivotal and bringing revenue and income into this city, for us to, keep going through this is tiresome. So I just wanted to just put that on record.
Thank
Mr.
you,
President.
Councilman Ramos.
Yeah, I agree with my colleague. And in preparation for this meeting, could we get some data back from the courts in terms of what percentage of these code enforcement violations end up getting dismissed in court because of technical violations? I mean, I've heard in the past that summonses were dismissed because the wrong engineering director was depicted on the ticket that was issued, or cited the incorrect city ordinance that they violated. So, I'm just curious to see how many of these violations that are critical for people who live in residential properties that are living in subpar conditions end up getting dismissed in court because of technical reasons.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please get that information for us.
Yes, sir.
Councilman Kelly.
Thank you. I agree with my colleagues too. In the West, we have a lot of cases that have been going to court. And I just rode by a property yesterday. I know that I've seen code enforcement there several times, and the problem still exists. And then when I speak to them, they say that it's in court. It's in court. Well, how long? You know, how long does it take for us to solve a problem with the residents still have to suffer through the issue and the concerns?
Thank you, Councilman Kelly. Councilman Silva, excuse me.
Yes, good morning. I've asked before that we need a task force in each ward every day, whether Monday be in the south, Tuesday be in the west, Wednesday be in the east, Thursday be in the central, Friday, but whatever it may be, because we're getting to a point now that's so bad, and illegal conversions, garbage, just people taking advantage of this city. The outsiders taking advantage of this city. I know the East Ward like the back of my hand. I know the homeowners. I could tell you where the homeowner lives or the homeowner lives out of town. I can tell you that much because I know. And it's really coming to a point that it's getting so bad that we're going to reach a point that we're not going to be able to control everything. And I've said it before, we need to hit these homeowners relentlessly every week until they get the message. Because every one of my complaints is just over and over, the same ones, the same locations, the same thing over and over again. And we have to send a message to these LLCs and these absentee landlords that they can't come into our city and do this. So that's my thing, a task force in each ward, just one day each week, go in and do what they have to do and make sure that we send them a clear message.
Thank you, Councilman Silva. Councilwoman Scott Roundtree.
Yes, I thank you, Council President. I really want to address how cases get dismissed, and I have receipts and pictures of from dating back. I'm just not going to call out the property or the owner. I'm in the South Ward that for the past year has had debris stacked up to the back of the house where people could not even exit if there was a fire, but through the front. December 13th, I actually went to this house. There were dogs on the first floor. We had to get code enforcement, animal control, and everybody else on a Sunday to go in so the people upstairs didn't have to deal with 2 abandoned dogs on the property. The same said property, code enforcement has been there. They have cited the property. I speak to the tenant last week, and he tells me that the court dismissed the case. But he sends me current pictures of garbage and debris. I'm trying to figure out, Council President, how do we dismiss a case on a landlord who has yet not abated the problem? Do we let them give us a promise in court and then it gets abated, or do they actually abate the problem before we dismiss the case? So I sent that information, of course, to where it needed to go legally, because I'm not the law department. But there's more than just one case. So I really am just trying to figure out what is the process to abate, dismiss a case in court, where I'm sitting here with pictures in my phone backed up on many properties that have not been abated. So it's not just on the landlord, it might be on our process. Is that how we just reduce our caseload, to dismiss it, and the problem has not been taken care of? Thank you so very much.
Mr. President.
Councilwoman, council.
Yes, sir. Before Corporation Counsel goes, because I know he's going to get up and say there's a difference between UCC and code. And I know Councilwoman Roundtree just spoke about code enforcement issues, and we were supposed to be talking about UCC today. So I know he was going to talk about that. But, you know, if the appearance is with the court component as well.
Right.
So even if that is thrown in, but there is a large issue brewing in the area of UCC, not adhering to ordinances and laws that this council has passed and put out. And for us not to be able to have this kind of dialogue that we've been asking for, you know, like 3 months is kind of crazy, especially from the people that they're under. And we were asked to, you know, move an RFP forward out of faith. We don't even know if that's gonna, you know, be able to come back with the right information that we have. And now we sitting up here, you know, struggling around, you know, UCC and having this kind of conversation about where are they with all of these illegal, because these illegal conversions still exist. They still exist. People are still in dangerous situations. There have been no technical, you know, assessment of what is happening, no dollars or monetary kind of fine or situation put to it, no movement in court. And all of this is critical. And we have to have, you know, people who have the compassion enough to be able to deal with it, right? Because what happens is when there's a fire or something that happens, you know, people are not going to look for UCC to blame, right? They're going to talk about the council people in that ward and the mayor.
Council President.
So, real quick, Councilwoman.
Really quick. I know the added starter says inspection issues. So while we're dealing with UCC, code enforcement, and all of those things, and the courts, I wanted to make that statement. While I know Councilman Council is going to definitely advocate for what's going on with UCC, but inspection is inspection all across the boards with the courts.
Thank you, Councilwoman. So to the administration, I know you can hear and feel our frustration because as Council said, it's been an ongoing issue for not only months, but really for years, I believe. When I first got on the council, this was a discussion, and we're still in the same position we were then. My concern is that we keep kicking this can down and not actually really having the full dialogue and discussion on this matter. And so with my colleagues' permission, I would, if it's acceptable to all of them, I would request that we have at the end of the next pre-meeting, which is the next week, which is next Tuesday, that we have the full discussion about inspection issues with the UCC, Dion Williams, George Padone, and the engineering department, and whoever else. Because the more we keep moving it, the more our citizens and residents are being put in a situation where there's illegal conversions. On my block alone, there were 2. They put up signs, thank God, you know. But that just means they caught 2 out of probably 20 or 30. And so we just need to make sure that we have this dialogue sooner than later and actually have a full discussion and hopefully some resolutions, and not just discussion, but some resolutions. And I'll say this, what I don't want to hear is that's not my responsibility.
Yep.
Because I think the last time we had a meeting similar to this, that was what was said, and that was definitely not what should have been said or what should be what the responsibility or roles of the people who are working for the city. With that being said, anything else before Corporation Council?
Sure. Good morning. First, Kenyatta Stewart, City of Newark Corporation Council. So I will apologize for there was some form of a disconnect between if it was going to happen today or if it was going to be pushed off, recognizing that, you know, there's a number of departments that are a part of this discussion. I think it's important for us to walk in prepared, and I don't want to make a mockery of what the questions that you have. And more importantly, I don't want to disrespect you by making sure, I don't want to disrespect you by having folks come up here without giving you a report. I think that's probably more important that folks give you a full-fledged understanding of what's going on right now when it comes to UCC, when it comes to code, the courts, and even the prosecutor's office. So I think they should prepare a comprehensive report. I just asked them to have the report done by the end of business Friday, but I think it's probably important for them to give it to you by 12 o'clock Friday, so that you can have it through the clerk, so that everyone is on the same page, so that next week when all those parties are here, and we can have a real discussion on Tuesday.
So with that being on the record, by Friday, we will have a report regarding this matter, and then on Tuesday, we will have a full discussion amongst the council after the right here in the chambers as part of the meeting. No excuses on this.
No, I agree. I agree.
Next Tuesday, and on Friday, the report.
I just got the confirmation that the reports will be done.
All right. Anything else from the council? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Corporation Council.
Executive
That's
session.
it. I think we'll go to a roll call for executive session.
Council,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Quintana, Ramos,
Yes.
Scott Roundtree.
Yes?
Silva.
Yes.
President Crump.
Yes.
I go upstairs now.